Peter, how is
Darren,
your day going aside from doing interview after interview after interview?
it's good, man. It's good. This is the best part of my day right here.
Really? So you're not one of those press shy directors?
I don't think so. I mean, look, we all crave a little bit of attention, and we sit in these holes for a while. It's nice to do this once in a while.
Right. Well, rivals Ohio State versus Michigan is the latest and greatest from you. How much of the story did you know before signing on for the project?
Good question. I knew a little bit about the history of the rivalry, Ohio State, Michigan. I mean, I grew up a sports fan. I'm not from the Midwest. I grew up in Connecticut, New England, but
Mhm.
enough with some family who actually went to Ohio State, so enough to know that this meant a ton, and I would watch the game. Um, but educating myself on the history of the rivalry was like the first thing I did. But then, and then the whole other side of it was the science, and that was just its own undertaking basically, which was like taking an academic course, uh, a crash course. But that's what made it, I think, most interesting to me, was trying to take this scientific lens at this sports rivalry, which is a very different way to approach something like this.
I noticed that you didn't say the Ohio State. Do people only say the Ohio State if they're a fan?
I think so. There's a little bit of a funny jab at that in the documentary from Rich Eisen from the NFL Network, who's a Michigan alum. Um, you know, he kind of says that Michigan alums wear their pride proudly and don't have to say it as much, but uh, Ohio State fans have to call it the. So I'm not a fan of either. So I don't know if I have the place to say, oh, the. I'm not quite as proud, I guess, but Ohio State fans have a lot to be proud about, so I get it too.
I couldn't think of another sports institution that is the blank. Yes, you say, oh, I love the Mets, but you don't say, I don't love the
I
Mets.
know.
Is
I
there
mean, there's
any
not
other
another
sports?
Ohio State, so I don't know. They trademarked it too. They've I don't know if they completed it, or there was news earlier in the year that they have attempted to trademark the for clothing. So like gray shirt, red letters, the. I mean, that's a pretty bold statement.
Definitely. And when did you actually lock and finish this episode?
We finished this in August, the beginning of August. But it was about almost a full year of from pre-production to locking post-production. We started a couple months before the game last year, which was at the end of November, and we went out there and filmed a bunch. And then it was a lot of getting more interviews remotely and in person throughout the year. And then we went back out to both schools to film a lot more. And then it was, head down in the edit bay trying to craft this story together.
There you go. And the last thing before I let you go, what's next? Are you allowed to say what's next at least, or are you under Hollywood Reporter and Variety embargoes?
I wish. Um, there's We'll see what happens with this series. This is the first, pilot essentially. So we'll see if this turns into more. I'm hopeful that it does. But I have a production company of my own, and we do a lot of different stuff involving sports. Mostly documentary is what I work on. I work a lot with Major League Soccer, and
Mhm.
also we do a lot of climate change focused, sustainability, environmental stuff. So there's a few things like that in the works. But after you go through the grind on something like this, it's okay. I think it's healthy to kind of step back and just kind of work on little stuff and figure out what the next big thing is going to be. So we're figuring that out.
Well, congratulations on finishing it, getting it out into the world, and looking forward to whatever that next project is coming from you, Peter.
Appreciate it, Darren. Thank you so much.
Paltrocast.